Hi everyone, welcome inside the Delta MSG studios. John Giannone and Steve Valiquette on a night where we stood here, about 3 hours ago, and this gentleman said Igor Shesterkin would pitch a shutout. He hadn't done it in the NHL. Now he has. What gave you so much confidence?
Because I know what it's like to be around Benoit Allaire. Benny would encourage us to talk about shutouts. He would always say it. He'd say, guys, it's okay to talk about it. You know, it's not something that should be parked and then it just happens mysteriously. It should be something that you're encouraged to do because it's one way the goaltender can guarantee a victory. And this was his 36th game of his career for Shesterkin. And I looked today and I was like, he's due. You know, he's due. He's been close before. But the importance of this game, starting this 4-game set with how the playoffs hinge on it, I thought he was going to be superb, and he was.
3 shutouts during his short time in Hartford, 27 shutouts during his time in the KHL. This his first as a New York Ranger, and he had to be good right off the bat. First shift of the game, less than 20 seconds in, Jesper Bratt had a breakaway. Shesterkin stood tall, and he did that for the next 59 minutes and 40 seconds.
And then, you know what the wild thing is? Like, you've really got to turn your game on because the only thing this game had in common with Friday and Sunday versus the Islanders is that it's played in the same league. Because this wasn't the same style of hockey. Shesterkin had very difficult reads. And then, in the final 10 minutes of the game, when the heat was turned up, he was able to turn on more and stop everything that was, directed at him with the traffic and the scrambling, and he's on his backside. But I gotta say that when you look at this game as a whole, put yourself into the New Jersey Devils position, right? Because as they play out this stretch of hockey, they only had 50 minutes of nonchalant hockey, and then they had 10 minutes of impactful hockey. How is that for your young guys? Whereas the Rangers, they've got to learn to turn on for those first 50 because they can gain so much more in growth the more intense they play. Over these next 3 games against the Devils, I hope they learn their lesson and play a full 60 against the Devils the way they need to be able to ensure that they get these next 6 points.
Sure thing, and deservedly so on a shutout that the goaltender gets the lion's share of the credit. But you know what? It's a defensive zone effort. It's a defense effort as well. Jacob Trouba was a yeoman in his own zone tonight. He talked about the win moments ago in Jersey with Matt Loughlin.
Shutout victory tonight, Jacob, for the New York Rangers. The way the club has played in the last 3, I'll just talk about those. What are you learning about yourselves?
A lot of resilience. I think we've gotten better, especially as the year's gone on. We've gotten better. I think we found a way to win some games when we don't have our best game, and that's a sign of a good team and a team that's learning and growing.
You're a team that can score 8 goals, even 9 on occasion, but tonight, a shutdown game. It's the kind of game you're going to have to play in the postseason. I know nothing's guaranteed. You're making a climb. Is that what encourages you a lot?
Yeah. I mean, I think obviously teams want to peak towards the end of the year. I don't know if I'd classify that game as a shutdown game for us. I think Igor made a lot of big saves, a couple too many scrambles around our net. But having a shutout for Igor is a big thing for a team.
Fair point made by you. What is your view of what Igor Shesterkin has brought to the Rangers this year as he records his first shutout?
Yeah, I mean, he's been good. Ever since he got here, he's been a pretty top-of-the-line goalie. Every night he seems to make some saves that you don't expect your goalie to make, and usually that's a difference in a game. And to have that on your side is, I think it maybe doesn't free you up as a team, but knowing you have that gives you a lot more confidence, and it's something you need in a goaltender on a winning team.
3 more games against the Devils, the next 2 at Madison Square Garden. What are you looking forward to?
We talked before, just trying to take it game by game, not really thinking of it as a 4-game series. I think a lot of the same, get out to a good start. I think we kind of got away from our game a little bit second half of the first and the second period, and then I thought we brought it back in for the third pretty good. So I think a little more of a consistent game, more like that third period, and we'll be a little happier with our performance.
Game of adjustments, cat and mouse game. Congratulations. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, thoughts from Jacob Trouba, who already is looking forward to 2 nights from now. Same opponent. Do you want to or not want to play the same way? He doesn't think so.
No, I like his tone. He's saying we've got to focus ahead on playing our game, and that wasn't it. And this is the approach. Look, these guys are not in the locker room after this game with roses and rainbows. They know that they've got to settle back into what's important. I love the way the Rangers played Friday against the Islanders, and for the most part Sunday as well. They've got to be able to manufacture that same need to play the same way in the next game on Thursday.
Speaking of manufacturing, the first period of tonight's game looked almost as much beer league as National Hockey League. Chances at both ends, and it was the Rangers who broke through first. And a guy who over the last 15 games is the hottest scorer in the NHL, and that's Mika Zibanejad.
That's right. Hey, nothing against our beer leaguers, right? I'm
a
a beer
veteran.
leaguer now, too, and so are you. But look, Mika Zibanejad, right? He's had 8 breakaways now this season, and he's scored 3 times. He is coming, and it's a big thing for a goal scorer, one-on-one with a goaltender, whether it's down the wing or on a breakaway to beat him clean. Starts behind the net, though. Lindgren, Fox, Buchnevich. Have you heard this before? Zibanejad speed under, but now you got the new guy. He gets his stick on it. I think he's going to get an assist here. It's very close. We'll find out tomorrow morning. Zibanejad gets in all alone. He breaks free, gets just enough space to be able to go where he's gone. The other 2 breakaway goals that he scored this year to the forehand, this is number 3. And look, it's under the glove. That's the shot. It's not over. If he went over, if he tried to go high and nail top cheese, the glove's on it. Yeah. You've got to go under the glove there, and that's the shot. That's a goal. If you want to know what a goal scorer looks like, that's the spot. That's hitting the spot.
And the smile and the point was toward Kravtsov.
Yes.
Even though he didn't get an assist on the play, Mika Zibanejad understood the importance of what Kravtsov did there, touch it or not, to let the puck go through his legs to a Zibanejad breakaway.
No doubt. Look, that was on purpose. That wasn't accidental. You could see him even get his body positioned out of the way that he was placing it for Zibanejad. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning on that.
Yeah. Scoreless second period, very close to the vest. Rangers only had 10 shot attempts. Then in the third, Rangers looking for the pad, looking for the insurance, and it comes from game number 100 as a Ranger, Artemi Panarin.
Yeah, and look, this is the play he's looking for. When we talk about Panarin, the goal scorer, I'm never going to be the guy that says, hey, he blows it by a goal, he's alone. He doesn't. He does it off the pass. His one-timer is electric. It's like the Pasternak one-timer. It's Ovechkin-ish. It's just not always off the same seam, usually more east to west. But the thing about Panarin's one-timer is, take a look again at the position that Heedle's in, and then watch Blackwood. See how Blackwood's down, and then everybody is facing the passer? This is hard for Blackwood to move across because he's on his knees. And that's the big stat right there.
As is this. How about this? The first 100 games as a New York Ranger. Talk about paying instant dividends. Artemi Panarin, 1 more point than Mark Messier had and 5 more than Jaromir Jagr. Those are some amazing names and some great accomplishments for their first 100 games as Rangers.